yeah, with that, folks, both our players ready to go. So let's get into Sziky versus DragOn Game 1 on Vermeer.
Let's get it, guys.
And spawning top right as the red Zerg, we have Sziky. And bottom right, North American Hope, we have DragOn.
Our toast is literally seething right now every time you say that sentence.
Oh man, yeah, you can't be. I wonder if he's tuning in. I wonder if our toast is in the chat right now.
Maybe not right now, but he does watch. He does watch a lot of casts. He does watch. I think he watches. I'm not sure if he watches the English commentary always, but I'm pretty sure he does. He watches KCM. I imagine he follows BSL somewhat religiously. He definitely keeps an eye on the scene. That's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely does. We got Probe Scout going to get First Scout, but also Sziky actually getting First Scout off with that Overlord. He's shown almost purely pool first builds, so I'd be a little shocked we don't see an overpool here.
I mean, I'm a big fan of overpool. I think it's just the way to go. Like 11 hatch is very optimized, but let's be honest, you lose a single drone, it's not worth it. You get cannon rushed sometimes, and like even if you send the drone to block the cannon rush, you can just get out microed or unlucky with the drone hopping over and stuff. Like it's just so many things can go wrong with 11 hatch. I really do feel like overpool is overall like just the tried and true way of playing this matchup.
It's also my favorite way to open. There's just no risk, right? It's solid, very well-rounded against just about everything.
It's so flexible as well. You can do anything with it. 2-hatch, muter, or anything you want. Yeah,
very true. You know, a lot of the times, obviously, when you're playing on ladder, the games can be pretty silly, whether it's proxy gates or, you know, cannon rush, as you said. If you just want to, like, if you think you're the better player, just going overpool tends to work out more often than not.
And I feel like if you have a really good read on your opponent and you know he goes gateway first, even 9-hatch can be a better option than 11-hatch, right?
Yeah, depends on the map though.
Okay, that's true, yeah. I'll say that.
So 2-player and 3-player maps, 9-hatch is great. It's just 4-player maps where 9-hatch struggles due to the lack of scouting. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite openers. I tend to use it on Apocalypse a lot, actually.
Yeah, actually, I did consider, like, when you asked me earlier about what I thought about Apocalypse and how it would open, 9-hatch did cross my mind, but it's not my go-to on that map. Yeah,
it's good. It doesn't have to be, like, a go-to, but, yeah, it's just a solid one to have in the arsenal.
I mean, as a Zerg player, I really do feel like you have to have that bag of builds. Like, you do want to be a strong macro Zerg. You want to have the fundamentals under your belt. But the reality is, unless you've got a big bag of builds, like, you're not as scary of a player.
True. Yeah, very true. You have holes in your game. Yeah.
And that's why you see these players like Shine or Zealot or what have you, like, they're so strong because they have that, like, wide range of play. That's what's so scary. You don't know quite what, you know, cheese pizza is going to be coming out of the oven. And if you know, it might be like a triple cheese supreme or something.
For sure. When I think of players like that, I honestly think of Beast. He's like the most, I guess, not adverse to taking risk, and it works out for him a lot of the time. You know, you'll see a lot of 2-hatch muta, a lot of, you know, 9-7-3 if he does make a 3rd hatchery, you know, Mastling timings, and he's just kind of proven, like, you can play this game without trying to necessarily optimize your eco and play, like, quote unquote properly.
Yeah. And there's so many different styles as well. Like, say, for example, Zealot, he doesn't even drone scout. He just makes 4 lings every game. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many interesting ways you can approach the game of StarCraft, and especially in CVP. Like, there's so much depth and nuance in the early game that you don't have in games like StarCraft 2. Now, with Legacy of the Void starting with 12 workers, like, the entire early game is just, like, completely linear and non-dynamic. Whereas in Broodwar, we've got this excellent early game that we can really, like, dive deep into.
Very true. Ooh, wow. Sziky not going to catch the Zealot, so it's going to go unscouted. It's going to be annoying, but at this stage of the game, it's not like there's going to be a lot of drones at that 3rd anyway, so just pulling 1 or 2 drones, as long as you don't lose them, not a big deal. This is an open wall.
It is open wall, yeah. The bottom, there should be a probe at the bottom if he's going to play like this, I think.
Yeah, Zyky's Overlord wasn't in position to see that either, so... Oh, here we go. He was just waiting for speed. That's big.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, 6 Zykylings in your main base with speed, and one of your Zealots is committed out onto the map. Not a good place to be for DragOn here. You're throwing down a panic cannon, which is going to get target-fired instantly. Didn't even get the cancel on that. That's a little bit of a nightmare situation. And the others are getting surrounded by those 6 lings as well. Steel hasn't lost a single ling. Beautiful trade. Does kill that one drone at the 12 o'clock base, but not really getting much else for his efforts there. Not enough compensation for that Zealot being out on the map right now. And Sziky doing a lot of damage in the main base.
Another cannon going down in the main as well. So already, DragOn completely disrupted at this point.
Yeah.
He is cleaning up that Zealot at the 3rd base. Will resume mining there. But, I mean... Oh, nice catch, though, from DragOn. Does get a Zergling.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to catch more, actually, there.
It has to be said, this is about as good of a game state as you can hope for without straight up winning the game, right?
Right, right. I mean, these Zerglings are still being annoying.
Yeah,
the cannon does...
range this, yeah.
Yeah.
You can trade off the Zealot, potentially.
Zyky's probably going to go to the natural now, I'm assuming.
He has 4 extra lings coming down, but he wants to kill the Zealot first. If he kills these 2 Zealots and then goes into the natural, he's probably really happy. But I don't think he wants to actually do any bust or anything here. I think he just wants to power drone, go up to 5-6 hatchery Hydra like he would usually. But that early... Ooh! Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it were 2 seconds quicker?
Yeah, just... Man. Corsair is going to have to watch out, though. Still could potentially get sniped by that those Zyky Scourge. We saw it earlier once before today.
Yeah, and they will go in for a full scout off. Like, these Scourge primary objective is scouting. They want to confirm exactly how many cannons were made and where, so he can like really map out exactly what line of attack he could execute if he so choose. But also confirming the tech and all the timings is so important here.
Second cannon going down the wall here for DragOn as well. Looks like game state's kind of stabilized for the moment. No cannon at the natural mineral line. Versus Sziky, that can prove to be a mistake. You know, he's obviously known to just make 5 muta and pressure the natural mineral line, so DragOn going to have to be prepared for that.
I mean, in just a minute's time, he has enough banked up for 6 mutas with that 600 gas a minute from those 2 geysers, so certainly has to consider that possibility. And if he does not hedge his bets enough and doesn't make these cannons, then yeah, he could just get punished.
Scourge going to scout out the Zealots. Kind of a tell that he's at least showing how many Scourge he has, though. So DragOn's got a little bit more information than he had previously. It is Hydra production out of Sziky, so he's just looking to start that Hydra production up and hold his natural in 3rd.
And the main thing to note here is that he was able to go into the 6th hatchery without any pressure. So he's power droned into 6th hatchery, which is like the optimal situation for Zerg here.
Yeah, very true. These 3 Zealots can be a little dangerous here.
Yeah,
Might be able to grab a couple Zealots, or a couple Hydras rather, and
with the speed on the Hydras, I imagine he'll only get like 1 or 2 drones and 1 or 2 Hydras, but it's still a little bit annoying to have a little bit of damage here. No! Only getting 1 Corsair for like 6 Scourge? Actually going DragOn's way now if he kills these Overlords here too. A little bit annoying.
So that was like 3 Hydras, quite a bit of, at least 3 drones, and forced a lot of lost mining time. So actually, turned out to be a pretty nice trade there for DragOn.
Yeah, the only thing that would have made that better would be those 2 Zealots in the natural, like going into the drone line and killing like 1 or 2 drones or pulling them off the line would have been a little bit more optimal. But other than that, I would actually say that went, you know, okay for DragOn.
2 DTs out on the map. Oh, I don't know if that one got scouted, but either way, Sziky gonna have to be very careful here.
Well, there's a timing actually. He can actually break these cannons before the rest fall in. Like if Sziky goes in right now, he can actually break these cannons.
Oh, he's gonna. Yeah, he sees it. He's going for it.
He hesitated, so he might lose out on some of the value, but he still has a timing here to pick off these cannons as they're warping in.
I think he did it. I think he's got it.
He didn't target fire the cannons properly, but he still has a timing to break the cannons. Yeah, the thing is that if he was paying attention and wasn't distracted at 12 o'clock with the Corsairs, he would have target fired down all these cannons super efficiently and killed everything. But now there's actually a small window where DragOn can kind of stabilize, but he has lost some of these Templars now. So he's losing 2 of these high Templars. It's really frustrating. He can't get these cannons established, and now there's a timing here for Sziky just to come in here and roll him over.
Yeah, we're seeing the reds start to trickle across the map here for Sziky. And DragOn GG's out.
Yeah. Pretty efficient stuff here from Sziky, really outclassing DragOn in the series so far.
Yeah, very, very efficient, as expected from Sziky. You know, DragOn had some good plays of his own, like that Zealot Corsair timing on 12 o'clock did good amount of damage there to kind of kick off that mid game. We also saw a different opener from Sziky, right? This is the first game we've seen that he didn't open Muta. So I don't know if that's a read into DragOn or maybe he just truly wanted to change things up or something. But yeah, either way, a little different.
Well, he kind of forced DragOn's hand, right? Like power droning like that and going into fast 6 hatch. Like then DragOn's feeling, I got to do something, and that makes things a little bit more awkward for DragOn because then Sziky can force him to make mistakes and punish him.
Very true. The speedling run by from Sziky was really the tail of the tape there, man. Like that was it just put DragOn on some off footing just to start, you know. Was not looking too good once he was able to pick off a good 3-4 probes, 2 zealots, force a couple cannons. You know, it's always a tough spot to be in.
How do you feel with DragOn's hopes right now? You feel like he's going to turn this around, or do you think Sziky's going to be on like Domination Nation?
I think he can. I'd like to see it, honestly, from DragOn here. I think it's definitely possible. You know, nothing about that last game said, you know, DragOn doesn't, you know, shouldn't be here.
I think the opposite is true. I think if anything, like that would be one of the worst games that DragOn will play in this series. I actually think like these next few games, he's actually going to really show his caliber.
Yeah, I mean, all it really was a simple wall, right? Like he just needed to have the probes in place to prevent the run by, and he would have been fine.
It's that kind of thing on ladder where like I really respect the players that don't make those cuts where it's like, you know, if there's the possibility of links showing up, there's SEVs blocking the gaps. You know what I mean? Like they really don't cut any corners. They know all the possible risks and ways they can die, and they've always got the units there. They're dotting the I's, crossing the T's at every stage.
DeWalt's like that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, with that, folks, we are ready to go for game number 2 here. Let's go ahead and jump into Sziky vs. DragOn, Game 2, Radeon.
Let's get it, guys.
And bottom right, currently down 0-1, but looking to make that comeback, is the Red Protoss, DragOn. And in the top left, spawning as the blue Zerg, it's Sziky.
It's a very big map machine. We could see a very long macro game here.
Which I think would be good for DragOn, honestly. Oh, but 9 pool. Once again, that pool placement, man, I don't know. I gotta ask him. I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Why are you still building it there? I just like to build it there.
No, he's got a reason. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be the Zealot thing. I can't think of any other reason.
Yeah, maybe the other thing I was thinking is it blocks sunken placement for like all-ins. Like if it's a proxy 2-gate in the main, you wouldn't want it there. But that's the only other thing I can think of. And also, DragOn, probably the least likely player to go proxy 2-gate. So I don't know. But either way, I know he's got a reason for it.
Maybe Sziky's lost to 2-gate just one or too many times on the ladder, and he's like, no more.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I was thinking is, so Zerg vs. Zerg is about the only matchup where you wouldn't want to put your pool there, and it's for that reason. Like, you normally want to place the pool exactly where it's at, and then put a creep colony, you know, near that pool to the right to hold link timings, especially if you're one base. But obviously, that's ZVZ.
Yeah. But it just came up saying happy birthday to DragOn. Is it DragOn's birthday, or did you just get like a T? It's his
no way!
Today. No way! Happy birthday, my guy.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday, DragOn. Sziky's, I don't know, man. It's going to give him a birthday surprise here. Some more speedlings.
This might not be the birthday present he was hoping for, but it might be the one that he's going to get.
Yep. Gas coming down at 250-ish, so well in time for Spire.
Yeah. trying to get the surround on this probe by flanking from the east. But look at this little turnaround. Does almost get away, but nope. Sziky going to be finally catching that. Able to throw down this third base without even being scouted. So DragOn doesn't know exactly what's happening. He can make some educated guesses based on what he's seen thus far, but he doesn't know for sure.
Yeah, suddenly he's a little blind. This probe needs to slip by, but unfortunately it does get scouted from that Overlord, and the Zerglings immediately repositioning.
And this is speed first, right? I think.
I guess so. Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, I imagine this is. Do you think? I don't know. Like, I would like to see a 973 at least one time from Sziky. Would be nice to see Link speed into Hydro Bust here, but I don't think we're having that. I think it's gonna be low. Yeah,
it looks like he started layer after speedling. I wonder if he'll go for a speedling timing into 2 cannons, because you know, DragOn was a little greedy last game, as we said, without the completing the wall off. Right. And if he was to do that again, you know, he would obviously be in trouble. But whenever you open 2 cannons like this versus 9 pool, you feel pretty safe.
Yeah. And DragOn did squeeze into the natural, saw that there was only 1 drone mining there, so doesn't really get too much information for his efforts. Like, there's no real way of knowing exactly what Sziky's doing here, but you can make some assumptions.
He killed the probe. Okay. Yeah. There is a hole, but yeah, there's no way he's going to try to run by.
I don't think so. No, not with this many lings. I don't think he will even bother making any more lings for a while.
Well, we are seeing drone count continue to rise here for Sziky. That layer well underway. 2 Zealots now to complete the wall off here for DragOn. And we're seeing the Stargate starting to be produced.
Yeah.
No speed, but by the way.
Yeah, didn't get the speed. Okay. Well, it's a bit. He's optimizing a little bit, so he's getting some compensation for this early 9 pool. He committed to these 6 lings early, but now he's not making any additional lings, and he didn't get speed. So he's like, you know, trying to catch up. Oh, there is speed.
Okay, yeah, I guess they do have speed now. Must have been speed after layer.
So Spire down. Maybe he just took his speed a little bit late or something and didn't finish up quite as fast as I thought it would.
Maybe. Either way, Sziky gonna get that full scout. Overlord in the main, seeing that Stargate blinking, moving towards the natural to scout. Gas timing versus second gateway potential. Ooh, it looks like just enough Zealots to where.
Yeah,
DragOn's gotta watch out.
With the 2 cannons, I mean, he's kind of safe, but he doesn't want to come out onto the map. If it's only 6 lings, he can come out onto the map, but with this many lings, you're really worried about the run-by still. 2 cannons won't stop all those lings getting by.
Corsair moving across the map, trying to get some kind of an idea of what he's facing off against.
Yeah, we'll come in here and confirm all the timings.
Yeah, sees the 4th hatchery. No second gas yet, actually just being put down. And will now retreat.
Yeah. He's going to see the 5th hatchery coming down at the 3rd, and he'll know he's against some pretty textbook stuff now, no need to worry.
So, last game, the only info that Sziky's given so far was actually just a Hydra opener. There was no Muta. I wonder if maybe Sziky will switch it up now and do a 5 Muta opener, which seems to be more standard for him.
Yeah, he's got the gas banked for it. It does look like that. He's going to throw down a Sunken at each base and go, I imagine, 5 Muta, and then we'll see a decision being made. Will we commit to, you know, up to 10 Muta, Ogre Zergy kind of way of playing, or will he just stay on that 5 Muta?
Yeah, this is pretty standard. As soon as you see those Sunkens go down like that, it's always Muta.
Yeah. Just a matter of how many, right? Like, if he's going to be just the 5 with some Scourge, or are we going to see a full-on committal with, like, 10 Mutas or so?
Or, you know, sometimes if he doesn't transition into Hydra at all, you could take the gas at your 3rd at this point and just spam Scourge and...
Yeah. Like 10 Scourge or 12 Scourge with, like, 10 Mutas flying into the main, overwhelming the cannons and the Scourge zone out the Corsair fleet, and you can really overwhelm a Protoss player that way. Force him to make Archons and stuff.
So here comes 8 Zealots. I think +1 should be finishing up momentarily. Oh, it's already done. So good timing here. He should be able to trade very well. But actually, here comes Sziky Mutas. And DragOn does confirm, yep, it's 5 Muta. as we thought.
Speed was a few seconds late, so he took maybe a few shots on those Zealots more than he would like to, but still gets way to the safety of his cannons. But as pros player, you don't really want your Zealots pinned down like this. And no cannon finish in the natural, so these 5 Corsairs actually could be harassed a little bit. There's 4 Scourge to come in here and try and pick off here.
Yeah, a lot of it. You don't want to miss this cannon versus Sziky, Sean. This is not
good, this machine, yeah.
Actually, you know what? He dealt with that pretty well.
Yeah, he's got 6 in time. He didn't really take any probe damage yet. I thought for a second the Scourge were going to start zoning out the Corsairs and he was going to kill like 4 or 5 probes.
Same. Well, looks like he's still Sziky kind of poking around with these mutas still. Oh man, how funny would that be if he picked off a Templar while the cannons were focusing those things?
Oh man, can you imagine? I mean, those sort of things can happen if you're not paying attention. Like, you know, you just go about, if you go through the motions and you've done that 100 times of just telling it to target the egg, and you haven't had that scenario where the muters fly in just at that moment and pick off your Templar. Yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest kick in the teeth you can get, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. That would be unfortunate, to say the least. This is a pretty scary timing, though, from DragOn. That's 7 upgrade Corsairs, an Archon, and about 10 Zealots-ish. But actually, it looks like that's a good amount of Hydra from Sziky as well.
Yeah, he's got just about enough here to defend this, I would imagine. And he's going for the counter-attack to put on some pressure with his mutas as well. He knows the Corsairs are over here, but he's going to come back with the Scourge to deal with these Corsairs while the mutas see if they can get something done, I think.
He's just that confident with his Hydra count, I guess. Yeah, he's not even...
right now.
Oh yeah, it's only a single cannon, remember, at that natural mineral line, so suddenly... DragOn really not being allowed to mine here. He hasn't even reacted, actually. Okay, there we go. We're seeing probes being pulled. Corsairs rallying back. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, this is bad. He loses both of these Templars now. Okay, big value for Sziky.
Yeah, that's huge. Now, I mean, the Corsairs are definitely going to clean this up on their way back.
Yeah, he might catch all these mutas for sure, but there's already damage already been done. Like killing that many probes, denial of mining in the natural expansion, 2 Templar picks as well for compensation. Like huge return on his investment.
Sziky just being annoying, splitting those mutas as much as he can, even pulling one back to the mineral line, just saying, "Hey, I might get one more probe here."
Oh, you might, just barely. Oh no, he's not target firing, so he won't.
All good. Hydra's moving out across the map here. Not the biggest force left from DragOn.
I mean, yeah, the supplies are almost even here, Machine. I mean, this is indicative of a pretty strong Zerg position.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Even cannons being thrown down at the natural here for DragOn. So, I mean, it kind of goes to show he's not feeling too comfortable himself. I mean, there's no reason for Sziky to even engage it.
But this kind of setup from the Protoss player indicates that he knows the threat of Hydra Bust is real. When you see this kind of like 4 cannon Templar setup, like he knows that he could get Hydra Busted, so he's not gonna, like, you know, take any risks here at all.
Did a great job baiting out a storm. 1 Corsair going down. Yeah, Sziky's just prepared. He was waiting for these Corsairs.
This is a big investment. This is 8 Corsairs. Like, this is not a small amount of Corsairs at all. A lot of gas has gone into this air fleet, so if he doesn't get much more value out of them, he's in a little bit of trouble.
Definitely. So they are trying to trade. Another one falls.
Yeah. Sziky's just on top of everything right now, taking that 4th base at 12. Like, he's really setting himself up for the mid to late phase.
We're finally seeing DragOn pressure out a little bit, just kind of poking, not really committing too much. And, I mean, this is a good amount of Templar now. Sziky's got to be afraid.
He's going to finally push out here. But there's not a lot of storms available in this army to really deal with the kind of critical mass of Hydras that Sziky could have. He's got 5 Templars. It's a reasonable amount. But it's mainly Zealots and Templars, so you can really skirmish with the Hydras here and just keep microing back all the way to your base and like force out and bait as many storms as possible.
Ooh, nice pickup by Sziky with the flanking group of Hydras. And yeah,
got way too much value there.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than that, honestly.
You don't usually want to even commit to that kind of thing as Zerg in the high level, because like usually you will only get like 1 Templar and it's not a high enough return for 7 Hydra, but in that situation he killed so many Templars, it's more than worth it.
Yeah, he sure did. Dragon trying to pick off a couple extra overlords, does lose 2 more Corsair though. GG is called. Dragon realizing he's just in a tough spot there, and Sziky going to take the series 2-0.
I mean, this is not the birthday that Dragon wanted. I can tell you that much.
No, but I mean, still played a pretty fantastic series there against, in my opinion, once again, the best Zerg outside Korea. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, with that, it looks like Sziky going to be the player moving on to the losers bracket quarterfinals, where he'll be facing off against someone. I'm not exactly sure who, but
I have to say though, like so far, all these games, the winner has been who I would think it was. I didn't think the scores would be this one-sided, but every player that I thought would win has won so far.
Yeah, very, very true. Like, I mean, John Hoon, DeWalt, unquestionably just 2 of the big powerhouses in the scene at the moment. 2 of the strongest Protoss to exist. Yeah, no shocker there. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate for Dragon Sziky. You know, Sziky obviously still a pretty phenomenal player, one of the final Zergs to make it this far, and someone I'm always cheering for. But he's gonna have a long road ahead of him, climbing his way out of the losers bracket for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have like either a rematch with DeWalt eventually, or he's gonna face off against Zanhoon. But either way, it's gonna be a really tough matchup for him.
Yeah, it absolutely will be. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us today. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're gonna be going to the other side of the winter bracket quarterfinals, where we'll have Gypsy and Bonneth facing off for the first match, and Mihu and Zhao Shuai, 2 incredible Chinese players as well. So got a big mix of everything in there. 2 Terrans, a Zerg, a Protoss, and yeah, we'd expect to see those be some pretty incredible matches tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe I'm casting that with Noke, and I'm really stoked for it, to be honest with you. I'm so excited to cast that group.
Yeah, man, Noke, the GOAT, man, a legend. Well, he's always fun to commentate with, always cool to pick his brain.
And he's an expert in Terran, like he really knows his stuff. So having him for the group with Mihu and Gypsy, like I'm so excited for that group.
Yep, definitely, man. Right on. Well, before we take off, folks, we definitely want to give a big thanks and shout out to all of our Patreon supporters here. Once again, we are mainly funded by this Patreon, so if you can afford it, please support. If you like, hearing and seeing the best of the best Broodwar outside Korea, please give us your support here. At the Bombastic General level, $100 a month, we have My Fleeting Dream representing. Thank you so much. At the Bombastic Colonel level, $50 a month, the one, the only, the Striker. At the Bombastic Major Plus level, we have Tim, Cause, Tupacalypse, and Valtina Bulai holding down the fort. Thank you, folks. And at the Major level, $20 a month, we have Scheming Gypsy, Yu Jiang, Madine Ho, Stephen Robertson, Gordon Bradley, KJ Streaming Channel, Daniel Lopez, LML, and Nicholas Schuler. And of course, thank you all for each and every single contribution, big or small. It goes a long way to supporting us and continuing, the best of the best StarCraft outside Korea. Yeah, look at that $2,000 donation, CRVT.
Nuts.
Yeah, 730 from Ziri. I think I'm pronouncing that right. $600 from Gon. But yeah, man, thank you all for your support and making this happen week after week.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Like, this is a great game, it's a great scene, and your support keeps it alive, keeps us alive and kicking. And we're in the golden era of StarCraft right now, I feel like, and there's a new resurgence, and especially in the foreigner scene, there's a lot more hope for us. So let's keep that going. Yep,
absolutely, man. Well, that's it for me today, folks. I'm Machine. Thank you, Shun, for commentating with me. It's been a pleasure, man. Hope to do it again here soon. Yeah, and as always, big shout out to Zero behind the scenes, behind the cameras, pushing the buttons, and making foreign Broodwar amazing for us.
Mr. Bombastic himself. Yeah, we can't thank Zero enough for his effort. He's a family man with a woman, with kids, and he's still pouring his heart into this game. You can't commend him enough for it.
Absolutely. But yeah, folks, thanks again for tuning in, as always. And yeah, tune in tomorrow for some more incredible StarCraft.
I'll see
Take
you
it
there,
easy.
guys. Thank you. Peace.
The name of a dance we do down Johannesburg way.